everybody, Cooking with Sammy. So I've already got some stuff running just so that we do not have to sit here and play the waiting game for 45 minutes. So what you're gonna need today is we are gonna be making some red lentil pasta with a lemon sauce and some baby spinach and some broccoli. We're just gonna shove all of that into our one pot. It is a pretty quick meal to kind of do. So what you're gonna need is some red lentil pasta. I use just regular red lentil spaghetti. When you're looking at getting pastas that are not made with flour, you want the ingredients to just say red lentil flour or chickpea flour or whatever the case may be. So as you can see, my ingredients, just red lentil. And it's also got tons of protein. That's why I do red lentil pasta. It's got 15 grams of protein per serving. And there's 4 servings in this box. So that's pretty good. You'll also need a lemon. If you've got a lemon juicer, you'll need that. A whole bag of spinach. And then you'll want some parsley. You'll want some onion powder. And you'll want some garlic powder just to kind of get everything spiced up. Right now on the pot, I've got going my red lentil pasta spaghetti right now, and I've got broccoli already cut up and in the oven on 375. I've got 2 heads of broccoli. You can absolutely buy frozen broccoli and just steam it up in your microwave while your pasta's going to make this an even faster process. But your red lentil pasta is going to want to cook for about 8 to 10 minutes. So I just put this in here. So this should actually be done roughly around the same time our broccoli is going to be done, which is kind of nice. I always am a constant stir person. I go buy pasta by the feel of it. So right now it's definitely not anywhere close to done. But by the look and by the feel of it, I'll know when it is. The box says 8 to 10. I go by, does it look done? Because that's how you have to kind of look at it from the aspect of a pasta that's not made from flour. When you're dealing with red lentil pasta especially, not necessarily follow the box. I do add a little bit of sea salt Himalayan salt to my pasta water just to help with the boil. And then I also have this roughly on high. The one thing that you're going to notice with red lentil pasta is you're going to get a lot of foam at the top, which is good. I mean, it's cooking. But it's also going to come out in like an al dente flour pasta. So like no matter how much you cook this, it's always going to be al dente no matter what for that taste. So if you're looking for like a mushier consistency, you're not going to get that with this. So we're going to play a little waiting game, but not a lot. Like I said, it's not going to be a full 45 minutes. But this entire thing should take you about that time to cook or less. Again, it just depends on whether or not you're cooking broccoli that you got from the store or if you are microwaving frozen broccoli instead. Okay, that's just what it's going to depend on. And you can also wait if you're using frozen broccoli. Just grab a bag, and that should be like, one of these, not like a small one. If it's a small one, grab 2, but a bigger bag of broccoli, and you could just put it at the end of your boil. Just when it's about done, throw that broccoli in there before you drain all of the water. That way you don't even have to even put anything in the microwave if you don't want to. I just prefer fresh broccoli for certain things. When I make my pastas, that's what that's for, just because I like that little extra crunch that I'm getting from oven roasted broccoli versus just frozen. I do use frozen broccoli in a lot of other things, just not this one. So it just really depends on what you want to do. And we stir, and we stir, and we stir. This is getting really steamy. As you can see, I do have my fan on. We are getting there. Not there yet, but we are getting there. I'm gonna take a look at my broccoli. It should be done here in about 5-ish minutes. Oh yeah, it's looking nice. What you wanna do is if you're doing oven roasted broccoli, as you look at it, you want to see if it's starting to crisp up and get brown on the tops. That's how you know you're gonna have crispy, crunchy broccoli versus like burnt toast broccoli, because we don't want that either. Like I said, 375 for about 30 minutes in the oven is all you're really gonna need. I put my broccoli in a little before it hits 375. I think I put this in It'll be in the oven for a total of 40 minutes, but I put it in around 160 just because I preheat my oven. I chopped up my broccoli real quick, which takes about 2 minutes, and stuck it right in the oven so it warmed up with the oven itself. And then I put it on the top rack so that top part of the oven can really crisp that up. So that's kind of how I do that. We are getting there with this pasta. Like I said, these are probably going to be done at the same time, which is great. I do want to leave a little bit of pasta water in there when I'm draining this because that's going to give me just extra juices for this lemon. And what we do with lemons, while this is still boiling and doing its thing, because we've got a few more minutes, one, make sure your lemons have a little bit of give. Okay, just a little, not a lot. Otherwise, it's going to be a rotten lemon. And then you're just going to actually, to activate, you're going to roll that lemon on your countertop. So I'm just pressing a little bit of pressure in and I'm rolling it out just to break it open a bit on the insides. Like I said, I can already smell this. It smells really good. It's also going to help you when you cut into it. So take my sticker off here. The nice thing about this recipe in particular is there's not a lot of cleanup. It's really just throw some stuff in the trash. It's a one-pot recipe, which we love. Make sure that you do have a larger pot. Mine is not a wide pot. Mine is a smaller, tall pot. But you do want a bigger pot because you will be putting everything in this. The broccoli, the spinach, everything. So we're almost done here. You can see as I pull it up, it still needs just a few more minutes. I love when things get done at the same time. It's my favorite. Now I'm not even gonna bother cutting open this just because, like I said, we gotta wait. But again, you need your spices, your onion, your garlic, and your parsley. You can always put a red onion and some fresh garlic into the oven with your broccoli. If you're using frozen, you can chop up your onion and your garlic and you can sear it in your pan before you boil, and then just take it out, use the same pan, boil up that pasta, and then add it back in later if you're not wanting to use spices. Or in addition to spices, I didn't feel like chopping them up today, so I didn't. I already have onions in my tomato red pepper soup that I made, so I don't think that I need more onions than that in my day-to-day life. So really just go based off of how you're feeling about it. Ooh. You will notice that red lentil pasta has a distinct smell to it. It's almost like a earthy, spicy smell. And that is very normal. And like I said, this is gonna have a really good bite to it. And this will last because we're really plumping it up with vegetables, which you should be doing with all your pastas anyway, regardless of what kind of pasta you're eating. Even if it's like mac and cheese, you should be adding in a ton of veggies to really, one, lengthen the span of time that you're gonna be eating this for budgeting, and two, because we wanna add more greens and veggies to everything that we're eating. So this is a really good way to get them in. Go-tos for me for pasta are always gonna be spinach, broccoli, anything really green I'm gonna throw in there. Tomatoes can be something that's good. Like I said, if you really want to, you can add another acid besides the lemon, which would be some tomatoes in here, just some grape tomatoes, cut them up, throw them in at the end, and they'll kind of cook in with the pasta, not with the water, but like when you drain it. You can always add that in as another acid. You'll also want to eventually grab some olive oil as well and douse that in. I've got my Trader Joe's brand. I like the spout ones personally, and I just buy more olive oil, pull it off and dump it in. If you're an avocado oil girly, same rules apply. Almost done here. Awesome. So my broccoli is actually done. So I'm going to turn off my oven and just let it sit there while I wait, because it can chill out more. I don't need to like take it out. But I'm going to turn my oven off so it doesn't really overcook. Like I said, I do want the crispiness in there, but this pasta has just got a little bit longer. And I won't add my bag of spinach yet until quite a bit of time, until it's drained, because you don't want to do that. And you're gonna measure your spices with your heart, okay? We don't use measuring spoons here unless it's for baking, and that's only sometimes. All right, so see how my pasta's looking? Pretty al dente here. I'd say this is done. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off. Now, if you guys don't know this trick, you put the strainer on top of the pot and then you strain from there. Whew, get a nice pasta steam bath. Like I said, I'm gonna leave some of that liquid in there. I want some of it in there. And then I'm going to immediately add some olive oil, because we want that healthy fat in there. And yes, I do a nice good dose of that. And then we are going to cut our lemon right in half. Grab your lemon juicer, stick it in, and add that lemon juice right to your pasta. Nice thing about lemons is they are also a good cleaner, so if you have a garbage disposal, stick that right down. It will sharpen up your garbage disposal and make it smell nice and clean, and will kill everything because it is a really good natural killer of a lot of shit that you don't want. So, all right. Got that in there. I'm gonna give it a nice good stir here. And we also want some of that water in there just to help with the spinach. And like I said, I'm gonna dump this entire thing of spinach into my pot. I'm gonna let the steam get to it first to kind of start wilting. And then I'm going to take my broccoli out of the oven, and it should look like that with some little browns. It's very crispy. It's what I'm looking for. All right, so this is getting nice and wilted at the bottom, and I'm just gonna start kind of stirring it, and then I'll show you guys the final product. It smells very lemony so far. All right, we're getting some wilted spinach. I am gonna go ahead and actually add my spices. So I'm gonna do some parsley. I'm gonna do some onion powder. And I'm gonna do some garlic powder. Like I said, this is the easiest cleanup you're ever gonna see, which is super nice. We're just going to mix that around in our pot, get everything covered. Woo! And I do still have this on our hot part of the stove. All right, and then we are just gonna add in our broccoli. Now, because I don't care about touching hot things, I'm just using my hands, picking it up right off of that hot baking tray and throwing it in, because I don't feel like dirtying a utensil. Now, you absolutely can, I just don't feel like it. And my hands have been tempered to hot surfaces. So, due to past chefing it up. All right, we are just gonna, again, with that pasta, and you'll see a lot of that pasta water and juice down at the bottom, which is exactly what we want. We want this to marinate, especially because we're not eating it right away. Currently in this video, it is noon. So I am not gonna be eating this right now. I have a few other things that I need to eat before this, but it is gonna be an alternate meal that I will probably end up having tomorrow. This smells so good. We want to make sure, again, we get everything. And with spaghetti, it can be a little bit hard. It was just the cheaper option for me. So that is what I grabbed. And we have our pasta with the steam coming out that you can probably see. But like I said, about 15 minutes here for this video. It really should not take more than 30 minutes altogether unless you're going to be baking your broccoli. But that is how you make red lentil pasta with broccoli, with spinach, and with a lemon sauce. If you have any questions or you want to swap out things, go for it, but otherwise comment below.